Time to do our pre-flight checklist. Let's pull it up here. Oh, I didn't update my descriptions. Wow, missed the whole first thing. Okay, well, we're doing it live. Twitch, are you checking in okay? Hello from Twitch. Twitch chat is working. Let's see, is YouTube chat working? Hello from YouTube. Uh-oh, YouTube is not working. Do we need to do the... Oh, that's right, we need to reload the streams. I think YouTube. Is anybody on YouTube? Can you say hello? Sending a test message. Oh, hold on. I didn't set it to public. Oh, wait, no, it is set to public. It's always something. Every time it is something. Come on, Twitch. Sorry, not Twitch. Come on, YouTube. It says I'm live. All right, and then it shows it there. Okay, I think we're good. I think it actually picked it up now. One more time. Test. Hello from YouTube. There we go. All right, Kick. Are you here? Are you here? Are you ready to sell me bots? Every time I've gone live on Kick, there's a bot that shows up and is like, your stream looks cool. You need some viewers. Hello from Kick. Hello from Kick with a W. What is this song? All right, Kick is going. Rumble. Are we live on Rumble? What's Meld Multi-Stream doing? It says that we're live on all of them. I don't think... Verify that I'm human, because that's the Rumble way, apparently. Nope. Stream... What? Nope. Set up live stream. Okay. Use the template that I always use, which I need to fix and make look better and stuff. If any of you know how to use Rumble, and know how to like automate the going live process better, because holy cow, is it involved. Are we live from Rumble? Come on. We should be live. It's not even saying that I'm streaming to it. Do I need to kick off Rumble again? Let's try to restart streaming to Rumble. Auto start isn't good enough for you, huh? There we go. There's our bot. Would I like many followers? Get out of here. Wouldn't it be silly if that was like an official Rumble thing? And they're just like, hey, we're actually giving away followers or whatever. Like, I don't even know how that would work. And I'm just like, nah. All right, X. Are we live on X? Oh, you gotta name it every time? Gross. Gross. Slow hobbies for fast people. That's me. I'm the slow hobbyist for fast peopleist. At least that one goes up pretty quick. And hello from X. Will that pop through? I don't know if I have X chat integrated into this yet. Did I even like set up a thing for that? It says it supports it. Oh, I wonder if it doesn't work anymore because X requires you to sign in to see content now, like Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff does now. Probably. I don't know. All right, no worries. Nobody watches me on X anyway. All right, there's that, and that. We got the doodly doobs and the bodily bums and the doodly dwops and the wheelie weebs. Last thing we gotta do is do a little posty post on the Discord. I hope Christian doesn't mind. Doesn't mind that I post to his stream notifications thing. Ooh, this is a jam. What is this? Hyper Ira Townside. I don't even know what Hyper Ira is. That is I like it. That's got a nice groove. I should probably get rid of the big, huge embed link. Okay. I'm sorry. I am sorry that took so long. All right, take a big, deep breath with me. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice and slow. Tonight, we are going to collect our thoughts and do some Picotron development. Yay! Yay, Picotron! We love us some Picotron. I don't have... Oh, you know what? One more thing I need to do is now that I have my iPod here now, or iPod. Ooh, that's a pass from the blast. Never mind. Too much stuff to do. All right. Let's see. What are we going to work on? What are we going to work on tonight? Let us insert the whip folder. Ka-chow. And see what we want to tinker on tonight. I'm just going to look, see what here is available. If nothing jumps out at me, we're doing Poochie Survivors. Don't really want to dig into that or the server stuff. That doesn't even exist yet. That one, the math is terrifying me. So we're not going to deal with that yet until I gain some confidence. Yeah, let's just work on Poochie Survivors. Why not? Let's see. What were we working on the last time? Boo-doo-dee-doo. Marketed poorly by Washmill. Indeed. Marketed terribly. What was I working on last? We did the scene switching, which we just witnessed. And we were going to do the splash thing. Oh, that's right. That's right. We're going to finish centering the text and logo. Ooh, this is a good jumping in spot. Spoit? A jumping in spot and point together apparently is a spoit. Goodness gracious. Alright, so let's set our video mode back to 3. Ooh, I fixed some of it. Get dunked on! Alright, so we need to move the buy and the Washburnello. So that is under here. Nope. That's in the splash scene. Those are very identical lines. I was probably doing something with them, but I'm not going to now. For reasons. Alright, here is our byline, and here is our sprite. We were trying to make them math automatically. Oh, that's right. We need to do some more math. Let's ask Grok our math questions. What percentage of 480 is, or 479 is 180? What is slowing my computer down? Why is Brave taking up so much? I might have to restart my browser. Yep, I'm going to restart my browser real quick. But let's record this first. This is 37.6%. I wonder if maybe Grok is like offloading some compute to the browser itself, maybe? Or maybe that was just coincidental that it shot up to like 1 gigabyte of RAM. Oh, you know what? I had an update available. Maybe that's what it was. I think I saw that earlier today. Anywho. Alright, so, and then what percent? Wait, how did I do these other ones, actually? I did Y1 and Y2. That's using Y1, that one's using Y2. I guess we'll just make a Y3, because that's dumb. Y3 times 376. Actually, let's do 5.8 because I'm feeling pedantic. And then why not? Let's do Y4. And we're gonna do... Oh, my mouse is feeling sluggish again. What's my system doing here? Nothing's using exorbitant resources. I'll just run with it. I still don't think I'm out of the woods with like meld using a ton of resources and crashing things. So I've got my activity monitor up in the corner and I'm like watching it like a hawk. Let's see here. What percentage of 479 is 195? Did you see that? Is it stuttering for you on your side? Let me look at the stream real quick. I don't see it over there. My mouse is just like lagging. I think I am losing frames. Something is feeling off, that's for sure. But I don't think anything is wildly out of control at the moment. Okay. This one is 40.71. 40.71. And we'll use... Oh, this is actually going to be X1 and X2. Because we're not doing the Y. We're actually already calculating the Y from those. We'll just use... Okay, so we'll do X1. And then X2. It's close. It's something. Does that look the same as over here? No. Oh, it's because I'm using the height and not the width, because I copied those other ones. There we go. And then if I do this, it's better, but it's not great, because that does get crunched. Ooh, don't like that. Don't like that at all. I really should just not... You know what? I'm gonna make this look better. Better. Wow. Make this look better once you decide on a vid mode. Because I should just bake it in. I shouldn't try to do this ultra dynamic, automatically optimized for both resolutions. Like, that's just stupid. I don't even know why I did that. Alright, so that's that. Now we got our splash screen done, and we have our done finished centering that. Enemy spawning, enemy collision, attack spawning, and attack collision. Let's see what is in our milestone, our roadmap list. Enemy collision, player collision. Bark powers, scene switching. We do have scene switching. We have a title screen. We don't have the game over screen. Level up window, XP bar, upgrades HUD, save load settings, scene. Okay. Yeah, let's get the gameplay scene hooked up. And then whipped into shape by me. Let's see. If we have this so far, what this means is we have the bones of the home menu. Like, this is the home screen. This is the title screen. This is where we choose characters. We choose characters by picking up a leash. We change some settings by going to the little clock over here. We can go on a walk by exiting through the door. And there's some other fun little stuff that we can do in here. This is our title screen. When we walk with the Lord in the light of his love. Now, when we walk through the door, it's supposed to collide with a tile and scene change to the attack or the game scene. So before we go testing collisions with enemies, let's get the scene changing to go directly into that. So we have what? Let's take a look at our. We need tiles that we collide with. And then when we collide with the tile, it changes the scene. Does a transition, changes the scene, and then we can start going from there. So let's see what kind of tiles we have. Here's our map, this one here. Let's get our transparencies open. There we go. All right, we do have a door tile. Let's think about this, though. If I want to have doors that warp to different locations, I need some way of tracking that. And the way I do it in Legendables is I just have multiple warp tiles and just pull those specific tiles in for teleporting. When it comes to warping, how many different cases do I have? I'm going to have going on a walk. I'm going to have this side door over here to go to the kitchen. In the kitchen, I'm going to have a door to go back to the original area and a way to go on a walk out the back door. Oh, I should add a backyard. That would be fun. We'll see. Anyway, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Will I need any warp tiles during the gameplay? Right now, the map is infinitely scrolling. And when the timer is up, it kicks you back out. So we currently don't have any warps that would happen while on the outdoor maps. So it sounds like tile collision warping is going to be exclusively for in the home menu. Since that is the case, I say we just manually create a couple of them. Now, where do I want to put them? One, 2, 3, 4. Let's just move this to the second row. Let's go here to the sprite, copy you. Just in case I need to delete some old tiles. And let's delete this. Oh, that's a really annoying song. What's behind door number 1? I like making my test stuff look fun. Boop. We'll go 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. 2. Nope. 2. And I love Kirby music. It's so jazzy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. All right, and then we're using the first flag, second flag. Let's use the last flag for warping. I am checking for flags in my code, right? Not for the actual sprite itself. Where is my dog class? That's sprite collision. Oh. Oh, I moved stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I did some things. I made a library folder. And that's under my docs lib. And I have a unified library now that I share among projects. And I bet I have my collision stuff in here. Yep, that's what it is. Okay. This stuff's actually pretty cool. I really like the new unified library stuff. Let's check this real out and I'll. Goodness, that's loud. We'll go through it. All right, tile collision. I need a tile collision function I need to make this more agnostic. Because this handles the... This should just be checking for tile collision, not taking care of moving the player back. That way I could feed it a flag and it will return true, and then I can say stuff. So let's do... Let's say map layer and flags. And all right, I'll go ahead and fix this. Map layer there. Oops. Map layer there. Collision mask, self.tile mask. Why am I injecting a tile mask into the object? I don't need to do that. If it has a tile mask, I could define that in the object and reference that here. But why am I setting it here? That seems silly. I don't think... Yeah, that's unnecessary. Let's instead do local map layer equals map layer, or where is my map? Map underscore EV. I don't know if I want to rely on that for something that's kind of going to be universal. Let's do... Let's say if not map layer, assert. Actually, we don't need to do that because we can just do that with assert itself. Ah! Oh, sorry. We'll say if, no, if assert this, and if it's false or nil, then we'll say actor tile collision no map. All right, so that protects against that. Well, it doesn't really protect, but at least it warns us about what's going on. All right, and then local flags equals flags, or and then we'll use these as the defaults for collision. All right. Well, I'm already using a flags down here. All right, so flags equals get collide tile, self hitbox, and map layer. So this is not collision. Wait, am I using the wrong term here? get collide tile. That's going to get the tile flags. Check flags. And then we'll call this one tile flags. Tile flags equals get tile collision. This is relying on another helper function. All right. So, oops. If check flags and the tile flags don't match, then we're going to do a thing. Then we're going to return, or if they match, so they don't equal 0. So we'll say local x match equals false, and y match equals false. That's probably redundant, but I want it there so I can see it. Then we'll say x match equals true. And then we'll do that same thing here. Y match equals true. This is going to be tile flags. We shouldn't... Oh yeah, we do, because we need to check it for the other hitbox. Tile flags. And then this is check flags. Tile flags. Oh, no, this is... Wait. Tile mask. I should use mask. I should use that term. That's better. So this is going to be tile mask. All right, so we check our tile collision, we get the map layer, and we pass the tile mask to it. If the map layer doesn't exist, if the tile layer doesn't exist, we assign it. You know what? Let's just set this to 1. And then local x match is false, y match. I don't like that match, but we'll just leave it for now. Check collision on x-axis, tile flags. I changed that other one, but you know what? It's fine. Tile flags equals get collide tile with the hitbox TX on the map layer. If the tile flags that we just got and the tile mask don't equal 0, then we know that we're colliding and we return true. Same thing for the Y, and we return true. And then we need to return X match, Y match. I love Kirby's Dream Course. has such good music, and it's so fun. I have a ton of nostalgia for this game. Do, 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 do. All right, and then to make it work, we're gonna go to our doggy. No, we're going to come up here. Self.tile collision. Check tile collision. Then we're going to say self.x. Hold on. Because now this is going to return it. Excuse me. It's almost like I would need like a if self dot colliding. What if we just make this a proper if statement? And then we can say local x collide y collide. And then we can say x. You know what? We already know that it's colliding. We'll say x, comma, y, comma, equals this. So this will return it into x and y. And actually, you know what? Let's just do 0. No, we want true and false. And we'll say if x, then self dot x equals self dot last x is I think the way that last x. I saw it right there. Last underscore x. And then we'll do the same thing with y. And that pushes a little bit more of the code out here. But what that lets us do is now we can like check for different flags. We should probably rename this too. Check, instead of check tile collision, let's call this get what do we call it? Get tile flags. Get tile flags. What is this get collide tile? I feel like I'm burying this logic unnecessarily. Okay, is that in here? This is scenes, dog, characters, attacks, enemies, tools. Get flags. No, it's not in there. And it's called Get Collide Tile. Oh, here it is. It's a helper function and it's right in here. Okay, well that makes it easy, I suppose. I don't like that Get Collide Tile name either. Let's see what this does. Get Collide Tile with a hitbox and a map layer. We punch our tile dimensions in. That should be automatic. That should actually be a constant, more like. Tile width and tile height right there. Equals tile width or 12. We'll just protect against that. Tile height or 12. You know what? Let's just not even accommodate for that. If I get an error because those don't exist, they should exist. Modulo player hitbox for wrapping map. That's what we did. We did this the other day. Get tiles under hitbox edges. So that shouldn't be tile. That should be probably get tiles under hitbox. Check collision for all tiles. We're not checking collision though. Tile and we could loop through. Flags. Are we passing flags in here? We're not doing anything with flags. Why are we looking for flags? Flags equals fget tile number or 0. We're not even passing that into here. Tile n equals map layer get tile. Okay, so we get a tile n of okay, we get the sprite we get the sprite number at the XY position. All right, my bad. And then flags does an fget on that tile or 0. I guess that protects against if there isn't a tile there. That doesn't seem maybe that's necessary. If flags doesn't equal 0, then we return the flags, sprite, and coordinates. Interesting. But this is only going to check the first for all tiles under the hitbox edges. But it's going to just... What? Does it only check the first one, though? Hitbox map layer. I feel like this is doing unnecessary stuff. All right, we get a range of tiles underneath our hitbox. We're looping through them on the X and the Y axis. So we're over a certain number of tiles and we're going to loop through all of the tiles. The first tile, we get its sprite number. And then we get its flags. If it has flags, oh, it's because we're returning it. We want to at least return something. So we would return 0. That's why it's protecting against that. If the flags don't equal 0, well, if it doesn't equal 0, so that there's some sort of flag, then we return flags, tiles, and sprite. But that returns it, that kicks out. So that means it's only going to return the one on the top left, or it's going to prioritize the top left. I mean, I'm using it in Legendables, and I know that that's got pretty solid collision at the moment, so I've probably already thought through this. That just feels a little weird. Otherwise, we return 0. But we're returning flags, tiles, and X and Y coordinates of the tile. So when we're up here, we're using a map. We're passing the map layer in to get the tile, get collide. You know what? We're going to say get get tile under hitbox. That's just really long. It really should be tile info too. Get tile info under hitbox. That's a terrible function name. Ugh. Worst part of programming. I like tile info. How does info under hitbox? No, let's just do tile. Thinking about it too much. All right, getting tile under the hitbox. We get the tile under the hitbox. We check its flags against the other flag. If it's true, then we're colliding. And then we return the collide on the X and the collide on the Y, whether it's true or not. We're not returning the sprite, which could be valuable. We're not returning the flags either. The flags would be useful outside, because then we could tell it what to do if the flag is something. Okay. I think we're going to redo this. It might behoove us to pull the tile collision once. Yeah, if self.tile collision is enabled, then we're checking for colliding with tiles. We're not checking with... So collision in this instance doesn't mean necessarily stop moving it. It could also mean you are now touching a ladder, or you're touching water. You're colliding with a water tile. So in that instance, when tile collision is on, the general actor function should be probably checking collisions, but not doing anything with them. It's checking the condition, and then the objects would maybe have their own collision that they deal with. Is that overly complicating? Is that like burying it too many layers deep? Would I use this for anything else? Getting tile flags. Would I use that anywhere else? If I'm doing it once, because maybe this should all just be a part of this check collisions code. Get tiles under hitbox. I don't want to shuffle things around too incredibly much, so we'll leave this for the time being, but flags tile X, tile Y. Let's see, it's returning 0. And this gets the tiles under the hitbox. Really, it doesn't get all of the tiles under the hitbox, though. It gets one tile. What if instead of this returning at the first sign of a flag, Collision's tricky, y'all, and not necessarily from a technical standpoint, but for like a design standpoint. All right, here's the rub. What are you doing so big? Mini mode. I've got a pooch. Don't you like my pooch? And he has a hitbox. But he is on a grid. So we've got a tile grid. There we go. Now, if I take him and I move him around, like right now he's in 4 separate. You know, this isn't, well, imagine the yellow is the same size as the blue. So if he's in here, then he's only colliding with 1 tile. But if he pokes his nose over into here, and this nose tile over here, oops, should have seen that coming. There we go. That's going to annoy me. Alright. So if we have a wall of colliding tiles like this, and our dog is walking along and he pokes his nose in here, then when we check 1, 2, 3, 4, the first one we're going to run into is this one, and we're going to say, hey, he's moving. So we bump him back. And if we check up here, it's going to bump into the top one, and he's going to bump back. And if we move here, then it's going to check the top left one. It's not going to check the top right one, but that's good enough because he's still bumping into something like that. And we go like this. But if we're over here, and we bump there, it's going to stop, but he would have to be complete. See, like, it works for that kind of stuff. Would there be any instances where you would be, like, on a water, like if there was a water tile here, and we're walking along and we go like this, and we're colliding with the water tile, and then we go like this, and it's not going to check the water tile. It's going to check the wall on the left, and then it's going to stop. It should be going boop, 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 boop. It'll check this one, and then it'll stop. You know? Now, if we could return a table. But it's going to have to be 2 tables because our dog's little collision box is actually not like this. Our dog's collision box actually looks like this. Because we check on the vertical and the horizontal. A moment of silence for one of the best music in video game history. Oh. This song just has so much emotion. I love it so much. Okay, back to work. So it's like, if we're not, yeah. So it could be, we're going to have 2 separate tables that it checks collision against. But if we did some simple collisions, like whenever you're in water, if we do like a little ripple effect, you know, it's not really pushing anything back. It's just like a little ripple effect. Then that means when you're over here, it's going to start colliding with the wall, but it's not going to do the ripple effect. So it would be nice to detect X collision, and that way we could do things like bump his position back. But then if it detects that he's on water, we're still in the water, you know? Except Except if it was a situation like this, what if there was water? Oops. What if there's water here? And we go like this. Well, then he's going to check collision here. And then it's going to move him back. And then it's going to check if he's on the water. And then it's going to draw the little effect while he's off. Or at least it'll do that for one frame. So when you if you're walking into it, it'll show. And then when you let go, it doesn't. So maybe maybe if we have some, because it'd be fun to have some tile things like walking through grass, that we would check for tile collisions first. But see, the thing is that if we bump them back, then we would still need to check for tile collisions down here. It's we can't just ignore tile collisions. Oh, we're moving, bump them back, and just don't check other stuff. It's almost like we have to check tiles. We have to check tile collisions for walls, then get the actual end result position, and then check for event tiles. So up here we're doing... This is the only tile collision we're doing, and then the other ones, these are objects. These aren't other tile types. Okay. So I think we can do this though. If we grab a matrix of the tiles that we're on, and we grab their flags, X, Y, and tile N for each of them. We just do this once. Then when we check for tile collision, we can iterate through the object's table to see if it needs to be moved, check it against those flags. If it is against those flags, then we bump the movement back. And then when we check for events, is it in water? Is it on grass? We don't have to scan all of the tiles. We just check through the little table. I like that. Okay. I think we're onto something. All right, so in this here, we need to say get tile info. No. Get tile. So we're getting the tile info from all the tiles that are under the collision, or that are under the hitbox. Oh, snap. All right, something else to consider. If we're building a matrix that has the info for each of these tiles that the dog is under, or that's under the dog, we're doing that per hitbox. That also means we probably... How many hitboxes do we have is the question. We're gonna have a smaller one for bullets. We're gonna have a smaller bullet collision one. We probably want to have a small one around here for if you're on a tile. Well, no, you're gonna use the same tile one for if you're in the water or something. Okay, I think we're probably okay, since we're still in the realm of tiles. get hitbox tiles. That's what we're going to call it. All right, and then right here, we're going to say local. I don't like tiles. What are we going to call it? Well, it's actually tiles. So we'll just do tiles. Oops, not tiles with a Z. Tiles equals table. And then down here, we're going to say tile. Are we using just tile at all? Local tile equals, and we're going to grab this. And we're just going to make this a table. And we're going to dump this in there. And we're just going to say flags equals flags. Tile X equals tile X. Oops. Tile Y equals tile Y. Let's just do X. And then N equals tile N. Oops. There we go. So now we're going to have a nice little table for our tile. And we actually don't need to check for these. So we're getting the tile N, we're getting the flags, we have the X and Y from up here. And then we're going to add tiles, the tiles table we made up above. We're going to add our new tile to the tiles table. And then down here, we are going to return tiles. And it's going to have flags X, Y, and N. I know I have those listed up above in the table. This just makes it easy for me to scroll through here and see what it all uses. No. All right, so now we're getting the hitbox tiles. And what do we do with them? Up here, we just change this. We're saying get hitbox tiles. Now when we get the hitbox tiles, let's rethink this. I think we need to split this out. I think we need to take this and we need to move it over here. When we do our tile collisions, if we're colliding with tiles, we get our hitbox tiles. So we'll say self dot let's see, what should we call this? Hitbox TX is the actual tile X hitbox itself. And what does that look like? That looks like... Do I not have it up here? Oh, there it is. TX. So this writes the whole table. So that means if I add it as a sub to the table, it's going to overwrite it. Deontay, what's going on, my dude? Yo yourself. Happy Thanksgiving. In an hour or so. All right. So if we're getting the... I need to find something to stash these in. What am I working on? I am working on Poochie Survivors 64. I don't think I can run it to show you. Nope. I cannot run it to show you at the moment because I currently have things broken. But it's a Vampire Survivors-like game that I made for Pico 8. You can actually find it on the BBS if you want to find the old version, or like the existing version, called Poochie Survivors, and I'm making a Picotron port of it. I love your energy, Deontay. Self dot what is going to be this. Hitbox TX is where it is stored. I can't stash it inside there. Tiles TX, maybe? Played and conquered. Oh, that's right, that's right. And you got the hidden skin, the frog. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. And we're gonna get the hitbox tiles for that. And so... Yeah, that's awesome. It's been so long ago since I made it. I actually made it on like a game jam, like a self-imposed game jam I did with like some friends of mine. Ooh, really? I didn't know you liked Survivor likes. That's awesome. You'll be happy to know that I'm implementing multiplayer into this one. I got 8 dogs working at once. At least moving around with controllers. I doubt there will be that many simultaneous players in the final game, but certainly 4. Vampire Survivors supports 4 players, so I'm going for like feature parity with that. All right, so if we're doing collision, we go ahead and we dump the collision info in here. If we... Ooh, nice. I don't know if you're doing like YouTube videos or like Let's Plays of stuff, but I would love to watch you play it. I think having somebody with your expertise play test it would be really valuable. Yeah, have you played the multiplayer on Vampire Survivors, where it like limits your weapons to and like does a round robin? It like divides the total number of weapons among players, and then does like a round robin with the chests and stuff. I think they did it really well. When I played it with my wife and a couple times with my son. Hey, Unused Taco! When I played it with my wife and my son, we would like coordinate who got what weapons because of the synergies that would work between them. Like if they grabbed the knives, then I wouldn't grab the gloves that go with it. You know, that way we could like work on the evolutions and stuff. I got you. It's pretty fun. It adds an interesting dynamic. I think you have a total number of lives too. So it's like if player 1 dies 3 times, like it's game over for everybody. So it kind of forces you to work together and balance things out. On Yusako, we are working on Vampire Survivors. No, we're not. We're working on Poochie Survivors. I'm reworking. Okay. So let me. You know what? Everybody's here. Gang's all here. I'll explain what I'm doing. There was an idea. There was an idea forged in the depths of the the solo company jazz backgrounded Picotron that we are looking at today. A standardized library for all of my object and actor and sprite functions and things that I reuse. I was looking at my carts folder, work in progress, and I was like, look at all of these carts. And they use, like, I'm using a lot of my same code over and over. What if I just reuse my code, right? What if I, but then I was like copying stuff back and forth. You know, it started with my debug library and I would like beef it up a little bit. And then I'd go back to an old project and tinker on it and it didn't have the new stuff. Kind of frustrating. So here's what I came up with. When I was looking at the manual, let's pull this up over here. Zep added a new entry for external editors, using external editors. And using it's kind of against my personal philosophy. I don't want to use external tools. I want to make everything in Picotron. So I don't use external editors. I don't even use external graphics editors. Although I did for like one thing or something like that, and I was like, I don't like it. But what I found was this fun little bit of code here, where he says the simplest way to use a text editor outside of Picotron to edit a cartridge's Lua files is to copy them into the cartridge every time it runs, and then include them. For example, at the top of main.lua, we could do my project source. So this would be like, this is running a CP command copy. So we're copying the folder, my project, and then sources, like that's just where his stuff is, into dot, which I presume would be like the root of the cart. And then you would include the stuff that was copied in. And so if you comment this out before releasing it, then it just, like, the stuff's already copied in there, and then you can include it. So essentially, every time you hit Command R to run your cart, it does this copy operation and copies this stuff into the cart. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That way, I could, instead of, like, editing those files, I could just keep a standardized library in there, and every time I run it, it copies into the cart. So I could pull up old carts and run it, and it would copy it from my library folder into the cart. So that's what I did. Over here in docs, I've got this lib folder, and I've got things like my actor library, my color tables library, my debug library, a math library, and I just got like all of the stuff that I use for a lot of things. And over here in my main file, I duded it up a little bit. I got a little fancy. I copy everything from doc/lib into ram/cart/source/lib. So I have, whenever I do a new cart, we go into the cart, I always make a source folder now. This isn't in here by default. Like, Picotron makes graphics, maps, and sound effects. The PAL and the fonts are mine, and the source is mine. But I added, there's my little lib folder. I dump it into here. And so it's got its own little folder. That way, if I make a duplicate source file, for example, if we go into this lib folder, there's a debug.lua. But then out here in my regular source folder, there's also a debug.lua. And they do different things. This one here is the standardized debug library that every cart will use. It's got like the boilerplate on how my debug system works. But then if I want to like show debug stuff for a dog in Poochie Survivors, I would put that in here. That way when I go to another game, it doesn't say error dog stuff not found because it's only using this one. And then in that other cart, I would have vegetable stuff in here, right? So this is like game-specific things. And it's really helped me think about what code is game-specific and what code is like system-specific. Yeah, I know, right? Zep's doing an awesome job on this stuff. 100%. So anyway, I copy my libs folder into the cart. And then I do a little stuff here like, where is it? I have a couple globals, a lib folder, and the library themselves. So the library, what I found out is that you can actually just do an ls. So in one of Zep's other things here, he talks about this list, but we'll just come full screen. I list the entirety of whatever this lib folder is. So we grab the name of every file and dump it into this little table, and then we just iterate through it, and we include everything in the lib folder. So that means if I add something later, this adds new files as well. So that new stuff that I find worthy enough to put into my lib folder also automatically gets included. Don't need to update anything. It just grabs everything in there and includes it. And then this right here, once I'm ready to release, I can comment this and comment that. And when it does the includes, it includes everything that's copied into the cart instead of stuff from my lib. And so it works really well. And so what I've been doing is I've been going through my code and kind of squelching stuff out and pulling it out and cleaning it up and putting it into libraries. So like my actor stuff, I'm trying to make this less game specific and more engine specific. I did this with my debug too. So right now my debug file, let me open up the library one. So this one here, this has like all the code that makes the debug system work. It's like the debug engine. And it used to have like a space down at the bottom where you could put all of your stuff. So like it's got like the system stuff and the video modes and whatnot like that. But now I've moved game-specific debug stuff into here. So since I already have that debug lib system put in place, then I can just add sections. And so this here is just a debug file for the sections for this specific game. It's been super duper nice. But yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm going through my actor lib and I'm making it so that every game that I run has an actor class that gets reused. And if I want to turn tile collision on for that actor, I can just do a self.tile collision, and then it starts figuring out how to collide with tiles. And that way, like, this will work automatically in every cart that I make going forward. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time and stuff. And I did it with a bunch of things, like easing effects, easing operations. So like I've got sine, quadric, cubic, quartic, quints, exponential, elastic bounces. These are all ease in functions. I've got like an ease sine in, ease out, ease in and out for sine waves. And so I can just use these like as my own little libraries whenever I want to do easing functions instead of having to like rewrite them and stuff. Super duper useful. Really, really happy with it. But collision is currently broken. And actually I need to turn my video mode back to 1. I wish errors would show up correctly under video mode 1, but I get that it doesn't. What is this? Lib actor unexpected symbol near equals. Oh, is that all it was? Hey, look at that. Okay. And then live actor, get hitbox tiles. Yeah, okay, so this is where we are. Well, nice, now that I know that that works. So, what was that message, actually? Attempt to call a nil value, get hitbox tiles. Get hitbox tiles, did I not rename that? Get hitbox tiles. Oh, no. That shouldn't be self, should it? No, that should just be by itself. That's just gonna be... This looks like it's global though. So should that be capital? Or should I put that inside actor? Should anything that's not an actor be able to get hitbox tiles? If it has a hitbox, I'm going to put this in actor. Actor, get hitbox tiles. Alright, and then in here, we're doing self.get hitbox tiles. Alright. So we have our tiles x, tx tiles, ty, load table of tiles into actor. All right. Now, do we need this stuff? Get tile flags. This checks it against a mask. And then it returns whether we are colliding or not. So that's a lot. Let's see. We're already doing this stuff up above. So right now, really what we care about is the tile and flags. We don't even care about map layer anymore because that's baked into it. All we care about is the tile and mask. So this should be get what is this? This is not get. This is colliding tiles. No, colliding flags. Right? Because it returns a true or false. I like the is prefix for returning true or false. So we can say we don't need the map. We do need tiles. And we're going to get rid of this assert. We're going to get rid no, the mask is fine. And we'll say if not tiles. So if the tiles table... Oh! If tiles... Let's do type. If the type of tiles... How do we do type? What are the possible types? Returns the type of a value as a string. Number, string... I guess table is probably a type? If it does not equal table, then we return. And we just escape out. Alright, then we check for our tile mask. Alright, let's think through this for a second. We want to check through the whole table. Maybe instead of... Maybe... do I want these purpose-built? Do I want it to be like, is colliding wall? Instead of just is colliding flags? Also, is this music loud? Testing 1, 2, 3. That sounds good. Should have checked that a while ago. Okay, I feel better about myself. Get table of tiles under actor hitbox. Yeah. All right, we're gonna do is colliding flags. We're gonna feed it a tile table and a tile mask. We skip out if there is no table. If there's no mask, if there is no mask, do I want to protect against it? No. Nope. I want to say if tile not tile mask, then we return. We're just going to fail silently. This would be a good place to put like a print H debug menu thing, but I don't do that yet. I had something to add, like something that I've been kind of aspiring to do. I just haven't done it yet. I don't have a system in place for it yet. But that'd be a good practice to get into, I imagine. All right, so we've got that. We don't need to get hitbox tiles. We're checking one table, so we don't have to do this twice. And we'll say 4 tile in all tile table do. Now, here's the rub. This is what we need to think about. This is going to check every tile in the table and check if we are colliding with it. Now, I think we already talked through and determined that when it comes to wall collision, it doesn't matter how many of them we're colliding with, as long as we're colliding with one on the axis. We need to reverse the axis. Hey, Skull Taker! Thank you for the follow. I super duper appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Am I overcomplicating this? I could just say for tile in all tile table do if tile dot flags and our tile mask flags and tile mask doesn't equal 0. Obviously we need to grab this mask. Could do flag 1. Is that flag 1? Is there a number? I think that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way it would work. So flag 1, wall. So we could say and 1. Then tile table equals self dot tiles underscore tx. then self.x equals self.last x. So that's essentially going to be the code. So we get the tiles into here, and then we check the flag, and then we make an action. So do I want to dump that down into here? Do I even need a function? Probably, because I'm running this on multiple hitboxes. So we could say single flag collide. And maybe we could write some descriptions in here. Checks. Returns to RNS. True. This is an annoying song. There we go. Returns true when first tile is returns true at detection of first collision. Yeah, that'll work. And then we can make more advanced ones later if we need to. So we'll do this. And instead of x.collide, we'll do return true. And we can actually simplify this by going like that. So we take a table and we take a mask. And if the table type is table and the mask is not nil, then we iterate through the tile table, and if it matches the mask, we return true. So this could be instead of this, we could just go boom. And then this tile table is going to be self.tiles_tx with a mask of 1. And then ty with a mask of 1. And this is going to be conditional, so we'll say if this self.x equals self.last x. And there's y, there's y, there's y. I don't like that single. Let's do simple. Simple flag collide. Simple flag collide. All right. And we can get rid of this. No magic numbers. We don't want magic numbers. We're learning. We're getting a little better. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. And this should give us basic wall collision back again. Where is my gamepad? There it is. All right, we did a lot of coding and very little testing in between, which always makes me nervous. Cross your fingers. Whipped into shape by yours truly. And crash. Hey, I was right. Attempt to index a nil value local hitbox. What is going on here? Get hitbox tiles. Hitbox. What was calling that? Show messages. Post. All right, we're checking collisions. We're checking collisions here. Get hitbox tiles. Hitbox underscore TX. Get hitbox tiles. Hitbox doesn't exist. So we're not passing self.hitbox into it? Is that because I didn't put... No? Did I goob it up? It was not bought off the black market. I deny it all. Okay. Still the same thing. So that can't be it. I don't think that should matter. I'm gonna leave it there just in case, though. Why is my... Let's see, in our actor class... Tile collision equals... Maybe it's just a matter of, like, it hasn't been made yet? If that's the case, let's come down here to check collisions. Here. Hitbox. Let's protect against this. Let's say... if not hitbox, return. What does that do? Okay. Now we're doing post update, checking hitboxes. We're a little further down. Get map tile, local map layer. It's got to be off by 1 or something because that doesn't exist. But we do have a map layer here. It must be off by 1. Where is this getting called where a map layer doesn't exist? Oh! Yeah, that's supposed to be map EV. That one's on me. That should be the event layer. If we look under world, map underscore EV, yeah. Shaken, not stirred. Hey! We're player 2. Interesting. We don't have collision, though. What are you doing, controller? There we go. Okay. Well, I mean, at least we're not crashing, right? We're doing something. Maybe I change this back. Protected from evil. X1. Okay, so it does need that to pull. No. It's saying that there's a hitbox, but there is no. Okay, yeah, it's saying there is a hitbox, but there is no X1 inside of it. Which means we do want this. I think. Let's add a debug real quick. We're gonna add a table here. Tiles X, and we're gonna call this dog1 dot. What is the name of this? Tiles underscore X. TX. And that should just be a table. Let's bypass this start screen. We're gonna go straight home. All right. Dog. All right, it is pulling a table, so the data is in there. And if we go to, if we just add the length of it, like how many? Oh, because it doesn't exist. What if we do some stupid logic? This and this. Hey. So we're currently colliding with 4 tiles. 2 tiles. 1 tile. We're in 1 tile. Look at that. We should be able to show our hitboxes too. There we go. Or at least one of them. And we can tell how many boxes what we're colliding with. But we're not colliding. So it's detecting. That means, that tells me what? What does that tell us? That tells us that we are getting the hitbox of tiles under our dude. Let's double this. Double or nothing. And we're gonna check the other one. and burp. Okay. All right, it's getting both. All right. So that tells me that we're getting to here. Now, if our flag equals 1, and we do a simple collide, self tiles, so we're feeding this in as the table, and this as the flag, then self.x. So if that's true, if that returns true, self.x gets reverted back to self.lastx. So let's take a look in here. We have our table and our mask. You know what? Let's do that. We'll call this flag mask. Tile mask. If it is... Oh, maybe it's not picking it up here. Maybe it's not showing it as a table. Let's do an assert here. Assert her. Assert false. Aha! Let's do this. Let's do a assert false, and then comma type table. So what this should do is it should fail, and then it should tell us what type the table is. Number. Why is it a number? What? Chat, why is it a number? That shouldn't be that should be a table. What are we passing into it? Self tiles TX? We're taking hitbox. Oh. Get hitbox tiles. Where is it? Are we still returning everything? We are. We're returning the flags. Wait, no. Okay. Okay, it might be something here. Hold on. Hold the phone. So, okay. What? Okay, it's a number? What? What? It just says number. Why does it just say number? It shouldn't... What? What if we do toString 1? One is the loneliest number. It is... Maybe we're not generating it right. Hey, thanks for the follow, Deontay. I don't have a super fancy, flashy thing on the screen, so we'll do this. We'll go. We'll go. Let's see what we do. We'll go. What are we doing? Where's the thing? Where is it? We're gonna go here. And we're gonna say I thought I had one that said thanks, but we don't. So we're gonna do thank you. Imagine this is thanks for the follow. Woo! Deontay! He's my newest follower! Thanks! You're super cool! Oh, I didn't do the face. You're super cool, Deontay! Thanks for the follow! And you too, Skull Skater! Skull Taker! How's that? Are you happy? Good. I aim to please, Deontay. That's the only reason I'm here, is just make you guys happy. Now let's see if we can figure this stupid collision stuff out that I broke to make it more robust, and now it just doesn't work. I guess we start from the ground up, man. Get the hitbox tiles. Okay, so what? Is it because I made this an actor thing? Einer Burger, dude, you should have burger bird another burger. Oh. Come on. It's one? Is that because I'm on one tile? Okay. We need to narrow this down. Where am I? What's going on? All right. Right here. Hold up. In my debug. Let's do this. Let's just do a 1 for now. Well, let's go type it again. There should be a dot flags. Does that exist? No. Maybe because the table doesn't exist yet. That's possible. Oh, it's going to be 1 flags. Okay. I love this game. Gambare Goemon, Mystical Ninja, for Super Nintendo. Dang, I played this game so much as a kid. I know this song's like inside and out. Okay. Why is it a certain... Oh, it's because I didn't save it? Ah, that's why. Okay, I need to remember to save. Okay. Okay, so... Oh, alright, so it's a 1. It's a 1 because that is the collision flag. See, because these are all zeros and then we're on 1. Okay, so... It's getting the flags. That means I should be able to... let's say... Flags. And this should be... Tile N. And this could be N. And this is going to give me the sprite of the tile that I'm on top of. On the event layer. Okay. Because we're checking the event layer. Yeah, and there's 192, there's 0. Okay. So that means... What does that tell us? That tells us that it is doing it correctly, like it's pulling the info. What next thing we should do? We should do Let's get rid of this. And let's do this. 2, 3, 4. And maybe that's because it doesn't exist. Maybe we can at least get 2 working. Okay, so see, it's detecting the 1. Okay, I don't know why that's crashing. Probably because stuff isn't made yet. That's fine. But it did have a flag in both of them. Actually, what we could do here is we could say print dogs dog 1 dot tiles tx dot flag tx1 dot flag. And then if we change this to a 2, 0, and then 3 is probably nil because it doesn't exist. Oops. Yeah, doesn't exist. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So that tells us that it's pulling the right stuff. Cheap viewers. I don't want cheap viewers. I want expensive viewers. Get out of here unless you want to give me expensive viewers. I want high quality viewers. You're getting a ban for recommending cheap viewers to me. Like an idiot. We only want high quality, top class, expensive viewers. Viewers who hold their own self-worth very, very high indeed. Because they know that they're awesome. That's the kind of viewers we want. Alright. If type tile doesn't equal table, return... More of a 720p kind of viewer myself. I mean, 480p crowd represent for the Picotron. If you know, you know. But I respect the 720p. Where am I getting hung up? Is it this if it's a table? What if I just get rid of this? No. Okay. What if we do an assert here? Okay. So it is pulling a table then? Alright, it is making past it now. I don't know why. Assert. Now it's not doing it at all. What? Oh, did I not hit save? Why isn't it? Oh, because that's false. What's crazy is 480p looks great. My VHS player has not let me down on quality, and that's like 360p. I know, right? It's not even getting in there. mask. Is the tile mask not doing anything? Let's... Oh, where is it breaking down? Somebody's lying with his 4K to 8K hype. I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea whatsoever. Couldn't be me. The only 4K and 8K I'm dealing with is kilobytes of memory. Good enough to go to the moon. Good enough for me. All right. I need to collect my thoughts. I need to collect my thoughts. If tile.collision is on, we know that that's on because when we look in our dog, which you do, tile.collision is true. All right. Self.tiles.tx doesn't exist. So we have our tile collision hitbox. So we're not creating the TX tile there. Self.tile.tx ty. This is where it's being created in the update hitbox, but it doesn't exist prior. That could potentially be an issue, but I don't think it is in this case. So, but we could say assert false self.tiles_tx. Our check collision isn't getting run? Oh wait, there it goes. Okay. Unknown error. Let's say toString. Okay, so it's a table. It's there. And if we do it here as well, we change that to Y. There's a table. All right. So we know we're good up to here. We know that we have tables. And we know that if we print dog1 dot tiles_tx, it's a table, and we should have dot flags. Nope. We should have a length. There's 4. So we should have 1 dot flags, which is 0. We should have an X. Why don't we have an X? Flags X, Y, and N. This should be taking our tile. Flags equals the flags here. X equals this. Y equals this. N equals this. And then it should add it to this table, tiles table. And then it should return tiles. Does it have a Y? Does not have a Y. Does it have an N? It has an N and flags, but no X and Y. Oh, that's because I put those on there. Oh, why did I do... Oh, Yeah, why did I do that? I need to standardize. Tile X. Tile Y. This is why it's important. We're gonna go ahead and do this as well. And then map layer. Any more map layers? No. Okay. Alright, so now if we save and run that, and then we do an N, we do an X, we do a Y. We weren't relying on that, but it's good to have that fixed. Alright, so, and we still have 4 of these, right? Yeah. Alright. So we know that we're coming out the other end with this table intact. And this is being done, get hitbox tiles. Get hitbox tiles, we've got it here for the TX and the TX. We're good up to here. Now, this flag mask. Simple flag collide. Are we using self in any of this? We're not. So it doesn't need to be a colon. We can get away with the dot. Unless it needs it. No. Alright, and so we're passing the table that we've confirmed exists. And then this one we've confirmed exists with a flag mask of 1 into simple flag collide. So that means our table is good, our mask is good. If it's a table, we're good. Let's assert type tile table and false. Still says it's a number. And if I do this, one. Self.tiles underscore tx is just 1. Oh, hold on. No, okay. Yes. Yes, okay. Alright, so I understand what's going on. Let me think of how to explain this. Down here, the first argument is the table. The second argument is the mask. This is using a colon, which means we are importing self, the object. So it should look like self, like that. But we can get rid of this because we're using the colon here. Up here, we are not. And so, since this thinks it should be self-tile table tile mask, it's dumping this as the object and the flag mask as the tile table. That's what's happening. So what we need to do is we need to go like this. I don't think we're out of the woods, but since we're putting a colon here, that should insert itself as the first argument, I think. Unknown error. Unknown error. I don't know. Okay, attempt to perform a bitwise operation on a nil value tile flags. So it thinks that this is nil instead of 2. Let's change this back to 1. I always get these guys mixed up on which way it's supposed to be with the colon. I'm pretty sure that this is correct. Unless I just need to put self. And then if I do the assert, hold on. I always get this mixed up. I'm pretty close to just asking Grok to teach me which way it needs to be. But let's see if we can figure it out first. I like to push my brain a little bit, but I don't like stalling out forever because that's just unproductive. There is a problem here, though. All right, we're going to run with this for now. Tile in all tables. So this is going to grab each object. Tile flags. That's not even anything. I didn't even declare that. Well, that's why it's not working. What the heck? No, we want tile dot flags, not underscore, you idiot. Oh man. Oh man. Hey, sparkly dark matter. It was a dot instead of an underscore. But we got collision back. Sweet. It is indeed doggo's time. All right. That's what it was. It was because it... Okay. Okay. No, that's cool. But we did fix the other thing with the X and Y and the table. So that's good. All right. And this means that we can add more flags. So we can what? What does this mean that we can do? This means that we can go into our dog table, and under our dog update, we're doing pre-update, we're doing actor update stuff. That's this stuff here. Actor collision is in here. Actor update hit. That's up the hitbox. We're doing Update hitboxes and check collisions. So let's grab this. And under our actor up, let's actually check collisions. Do I want to replace this with a dog's custom collision checking? So the dog does not have a check collisions. So if we go up here and we look through, we got new, init, update, draw, init bark, draw bark. We do not have a check collisions. So if we did, since it doesn't, it inherits this one and it'll just start checking these. Now the question is, I think I want the dog's collision all. No, I want the tile collision to be universal. Yeah. So we will do another dog collision. What do we want to call it? For now, let's just call it I like to keep the updates and then the draws. What you up to tonight, Sparkly Dark Matter? Function dog tile collision. And we're going to change this to 2 doors. And actually, that's not going to be 2. We need to do a little binary math. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's going to be 1. Oops. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So that should be 128 if it's returning as a bit field, which I believe it is. So this needs to be 128. And let's test with it. Let's go to our sprites. Down. Let's grab this one, turn that one on. Let's drop it onto here. Actually, you know what? Let's drop it here. And then let's make it, yeah, let's just make it collision for now. Okay, not colliding. All right, what if it is just 8? Not colliding. All right, what if it is 1? All right, what if I change this to 1? Did I put it on the right layer? Because I do that often. I did put it on the event layer. Okay, let's skip that song. I don't know what's going on there. Let's take a look at the sprite flags. Maybe there's something in here. Multiple sprite selection. Select multiple sprites. Alright, flags. P8 layers is a bit field. When given, only sprites with matching sprite flags are drawn. Okay. When P8 is 0x5, only sprites drawn with flag 0 and 2 are drawn. Because that's 0, 1, 2. Oh, maybe binary-wise they represent 1, 2, 4 all the way up to 128, but if the flags themselves are 0 index? No, because that can't be right, because my collision's working off of 1. Yeah, that's not right. Oh, no, that's a simple flag collide. Oh, I'm not calling dog tile collision like an idiot. Yeah, actor update, and then let's see here. This is running when? We're running our update. We're getting our last X. And then we're updating, and then we're checking collisions post-update. Not in the update, post-update. So that means over here, we're doing the pre-update update. And then we're doing the post-update. So that means after we've moved. So if I do dog collision here, okay, let's go back down to it and let's test here. Maybe this is 128. Because we're not using flags, we're using bitmap. 127. Why would that work? It shouldn't. It'd be dummy. 128. Alright, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it the same. Does this work? Okay, it does work. All right, so that means the flag is working. What if we make this 2? And we go like that. Will that work? Does not. So that means that this is probably 3? Because if that's the case, it's binary. No. Alright. What the heck? If I change this back to 1. Okay. So it's detecting whether they are turned on or not. But why? What? So what's this then? Is that not 2? Alright, what am I doing over here when I check for flags? Returns true at detection of the first collision. So we got here. Type tiles, table, Tile and all tile table do. Tile.flags and tile.mask don't equal 0. If if we set this to 2, actually that doesn't matter. If we come here, okay, check that to there. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then let's take all of these and we'll just paste them. Bam, right there. And let's see what it does. Let's open up our doggo thing. So right now we're on flag 0. That should collide. 2. 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Okay, so why didn't it recognize that then? 128. Yeah, see, like, why isn't it doing that? Because it detects 1 as a mask. You know what? I'm gonna have to look at the Legendables one because I did do something with like pipes for multiple masks. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Let's take a look at Legendables. Show cards. It's gonna be in our actors class. Hitboxes, collisions. As friction, as movements. What are you doing, cat? You quit that. Cat's getting the zoomies, sitting on top of Christmas presents. She's having a ball. But good gravy is she allowed. Alright, 1, 2, 16. 1 or 2 or 16. That's what the tile mask looks like. And then if we do flags and tile mask doesn't equal 0, then that's true. Is that not what I'm doing? Let's double check. Tile.flags, which we know is giving the number. That's tile.flags, so we know that it's numbers that are going up in like binary. And the tile mask, which is being set to, well, like we know it works with the 1. And it doesn't equal 0. What if we do this? Maybe because it's stuffed in a variable? No, because we stuffed the other one in a variable. See, that was in a variable. Alright, if this is 1 or 2, will this collide with this one? And that one. All right. And then if we do this, that collides from the other function, and that's there. 1 or 2 or 128? No. No dice. But it does do 1 or 2. Did I not save it? I did not save it. This one's working. And that's kind of frustrating. So is there something different that I'm doing with the dog? So let's close this. We know that this one's working regardless of flag. I mean, I copied the text. Self-simplified collide. You know what, let's do this. The function right there. Flag mask, simplify, we got colons, simplified. It's literally the same. Oh. I think I know. I think it has to do with the order of operations. So if we come over here. So in our actor collision, we're getting the hit boxes. Which means that for the dog stuff in the update, we're not getting the hit boxes till here. Right? Nope. Well, sorry, we have hitboxes, but we're not getting the tile information. This should probably happen in update. For the time being, I'm willing to bet that if I take this and I move it down here, it will work. Let's look at our, 128. No. Well, that's disappointing. This is doing our post-update stuff, which is updating our hitbox and checking for collisions. And then this is our collision hitbox stuff, and then we're doing this. What, okay, hold on. What if we do this? Oops, copy. What if we, where did I go? What if we do this? That one works. And that one works. What the heck? Is this like a problem with object inheritance? Let's ask Grok. Because... yeah, let's ask Grok real quick. Oh, wow, did I have the browser up this whole time? Let's do a... oh, goodness. Why does checking for flag mask 4 not work, but flag mask 1 and 128 do? Let's give it a look-see. Wow, why is my mouse lagging so bad now that I swapped over to this tab? Surely it's not eating up my CPU just running this dang browser. Or flag more does not work well 1 and 2 in your current. Let's see if he's going to hallucinate today. Collision function. Tile.flags and tile.masks is not doing what you think in Lua in most languages. It has higher precedence than and. Okay. So Lua parses it like tile.flags and I don't think you are correct, Grok. Which means first check if that equals 0. Maybe it is correct. No, I don't think it's right. I don't. Yeah, I think it's hallucinating. It has trouble with Picotron just because it's like a closed system. Fixing just add parentheses to force correct precedence. That might not be a bad idea. Let's give it a try. Worth a shot. Worth a shot. That's going to be in our actor over here. I don't think so, but you know, stranger things have happened. Yeah, that's not working. So if we block out this one, and we change this one to 128. We have collision there, and yeah, we don't. Yeah, that's not right. Grok, you're being a silly boozle. Actually, let's comment that out. No, that can't be it. Also, fix your dog collision while you're at it. Rude! What did I do here? I mean, that one technically is broken, so maybe there's something wrong. Self-let simple flag. Collide. What's wrong with that? What did I do? flag mask. Collision. Self simple. Collide self tiles underscore TX. What is wrong? Is it okay, chat, seriously. Is this not the exact same code that I have over here? Your custom flag. Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Is that not the exact same text? I see no changes. Except for like the 4 and the 128. There's like, what? What is he on? I see literally no difference. Do you see any, like, am I crazy? He's like, also fix your dog collision while you're at it. Wait, there's nothing wrong. Yeah. I think Grok took the night off for Thanksgiving. So let's do this. Let's edit this. I've tested flag mask 4 with 128. And it still won't work. Yeah, that's not it, dog. Band, which is probably a Boolean and. But I don't think there's a band in here, so let's see. A, B, C, B, 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 blit, button, P, and burn. Burn? What is burn? That sounds cool. In Lua. What is burn? Built-in graphics that applies a fiery, melting, burning distortion to the screen. That sounds completely incorrect. What is going on with Grok today? Oh, Grok, you're failing me tonight. You're failing hard, dog. Okay. All right. Well. We got it. We got collision working. Let's execute cards. We just need to be able to append it outside here. But see, the weird thing is that 1 works out here. So if we come here and turn that off. No, 1 doesn't work. Okay, so there's something just completely about this that's not working. I'm sure it's something to do with function inheritance and everything because it's inside the act class, and there's might be something going on with that. But I think I'm going to call it for the night. Let's go ahead and pop this off, and let's do These aren't working in the in dog. And then in our actor, we'll go ahead and uncomment these. So we've got tile collision working. Okay. And then let's go to our design doc. And we can wipe that out. We are not going to do these next. We need to get, this is what we're going to work on next time. Next time we are going to work on door collisions. Then we're going to work on level start. Scene. And then we're going to do gameplay scene. And in the gameplay scene, we're going to have spawn attacks. We'll do the attacks first. And then we're getting close. We're getting real close to a workable game. Like, a lot of this code, like, I have all the code already for the attacks and everything. Like, that's just going to be cleaning it up and putting it in place. We're getting to, like, the end of this boilerplate stuff. And that's when, like, the real fun's gonna kind of kick in. And we'll end up getting enemies on the screen. We're gonna get things balanced. We're gonna get, like number of attacks. We're gonna be able to, like, mess with all of that jazz. We're going to be able to have the attacks spawn from the players, and then we can control, like, which ones spawn from which players, because we're going to have multiplayer, how they interact with the enemies. It's going to be fun time. Fun times. Don't forget to follow me if you care about following this stuff. That way you can get all my notifications. For those of you in Twitch, I'll go ahead and do it for you. You can type, I was gonna... Hold on. Is my computer gonna crash again? We were doing so good, Meld. I'm gonna quit that browser because it was being problematic. Maybe that'll help. All right. In the Twitch chat, we can type !Discord. Bam! You can join my Discord, and I post updates in there about the projects that I'm working on. And stuff. There's a bunch of old stuff when I used to paint minis and stuff like that. That's in there too. But this is where I post updates on different projects and whatnot. And you can hang out, and it's a cool, chill place. Follow me on all the stuff. I'm Wash Brunello everywhere. And there was something else, but it's 1 o'clock, and my brain is feeling foggy. Thanks for hanging out. I super appreciate every single one of you. Y'all be good. Bye-bye. See you later.